Hi there, Junior Lancer readers. Mrs. Sental here with a special story. This is Joanna, a Hmong Cinderella story, and it's by Jewel Reinhardt Coburn with Sexa Shirta Lee, and it's illustrated by Anne Sibley O'Brien. In a sun-splashed clearing in the mountains of the ancient homeland of the Hmong, there lived a farmer, his wife, and their daughter, a kind and beautiful girl named Joanna. "We will never have a good harvest without the help of a cow," fretted the farmer one day. So he and his wife set off to the market. To their surprise, they found only one cow for sale, and already another man was bargaining for it. Not sure who should get his cow, the owner proposed a contest. He served them bowls of steaming hot rice soup and declared, "Whoever finishes his bowl first will win the right to buy my cow at a very fine price." The first man slyly slipped cold water into his bowl and quickly drank the soup. The farmer, unaware of the trick, was still blowing his soup when the other man strutted off with the cow. "We must have a cow to plow our fields and carry the grain," insisted the wife as they walked home. "Let me become a cow for a while to help bring in the crops. You can care for me, and we will have a good life." Without a word of protest, the husband took 3 vines and wound them 3 times around his wife's ankles, 3 times around her wrists, and 3 times around her head. In a flash of lightning and a clap of thunder, the wife became a cow. "Father, you bought a cow!" Joanna ran out to greet him. "Where is mother? She will be pleased." "Joanna, this cow is your mother." "What do you mean?" Joanna asked, puzzled. "I did what your mother said to do." The father nodded toward the gentle cow standing at his side and told her what had happened. Shocked at what she heard, Joanna cried out, "Mother, mother, please come back." But the gentle cow, no longer hearing with the ears of a human, simply mooed. With a heavy heart, Joanna slowly led the cow toward the far fields. With the help of the cow, the farm prospered. But then, instead of changing the cow back to his wife, the farmer selfishly married another woman. He told the second wife, who had a daughter near the age of Joanna, of his duty to care for the cow. "What is this?" the new wife asked when she heard the husband's story. "Is it not enough that the first wife's daughter is more beautiful than my ding? Now I am expected to take second place to a cow?" Worst of all, when she heard that the cow was really Joanna's mother and was magically spinning rolls of silken thread around her horns for Joanna, the second wife's heart began to burn within her. She stormed, "You're Joanna, not my ding. We'll cut the wood, cook the meals, and keep this house clean from now on." To keep peace, Joanna and her father worked from dawn till dark. Still, the stepmother and the lazy ding sulked and grumbled. "Husband," called the new wife one morning, "my life with you makes me sick. I am going to die." And with that, she fell back on her mat, rolled her eyes upward, and groaned loudly. "Go to the giant dead tree at the forest edge." She clutched her head as if there were throbbing with pain. "Its spirit will tell you how to help me." But no sooner had the husband set out than the scheming woman leapt up from her mat and dashed by a shortcut to the old tree. When the man neared the tree, he took 3 joss sticks of incense and lit them with great reverence. Timidly, he asked the powerful spirit for help. Pretending to be the tree spirit, the wife disguised her voice and from her hiding place said, "You have a wise wife, my good man. But only one thing will help her. There is an evil spirit in the rolls of thread Joanna brings home. Burn all the thread, and your wife will be healed." Sadly, the farmer gathered the rolls of shimmering thread and threw them into the cooking fire. They flared into millions of brilliant sparks. Yet, when roll after roll of secretly spun thread continued to appear in the house each day, the new wife knew she must take even stronger measures. "Husband," called the wife one morning, "I am so sick I will not live through the day. Return to the giant dead tree at the forest's edge." She clutched her stomach as if it were throbbing with pain. "Its spirit will tell you how to help me." And so again, the farmer went to the tree and asked its powerful spirit for help. Pretending to be the tree spirit, the wife disguised her voice, and from her hiding place said, "You have a wise wife, my good man, but only one thing can save her. The good spirits of your ancestors demand the sacrifice of a cow. Kill the cow, and your wife will not die." "Kill my cow?" the husband asked mournfully. On his way home, the husband gasped when he saw the gentle cow already lying lifeless where she had lain down the night before. She had died of a broken heart. Night after night, Joanna and her father sat on a log near the place where they buried the gentle cow. It was a very sad time. The birds hushed their songs. The butterflies folded their radiant wings. The despairing husband soon died, and the gentle Joanna fell even more silent. As for the stepmother, she became more and more talkative. She talked about her fine health. She talked about her fine clothes. She talked about her plans for her fine daughter Ding. Later, when the new year arrived, the stepmother and her daughter wanted to be the very first to arrive at the village festivities. Before they set out, the stepmother called to Joanna. "Girl," she ordered, "see that the rice is clean and ready for dinner." Cruelly, the stepmother had stirred thousands of tiny pebbles into the basket of rice kernels. Obediently, Joanna spent the first 2 days of the New Year celebration picking stones from the rice. Finally finished on the third day, Joanna sat down to rest. Reaching for her mother's old sewing basket, she pulled out the piece of cowhide she had hidden deep inside. She pressed the soft hair to her cheek and closed her eyes. "Never sit idle, my child," Joanna remembered her mother saying. Dutifully, she reached for her sewing, thinking of her mother's promise. "My spirit will always be with you." Suddenly, there in the basket appeared a skirt and a blouse and an apron embroidered with delicate needlework. Beneath them were a glorious headdress of 2 exquisite purses bordered with coins that jingled musically when she touched them. And what was that sparkling under the purses? Excitedly, Joanna uncovered a wondrous silver necklace that shone brilliantly in the late afternoon sun. Joanna slipped into the elegant clothes. They fit perfectly. Joyously she twirled round and round, and the skirt opened wide in a circle of vibrant colors. She looked into the basket again. There, before her eyes, appeared a pair of dainty shoes. They seemed to dance to the sound of the music drifting from the village. Just then, Joanna heard her mother's voice. "My daughter, put them on and hurry to the festival." Happy, Joanna tucked the soft cowhide deep into her sewing basket and let her new shoes lead her down the path to the village clearing. She wondered if anyone might recognize her. Who is that beautiful girl? Asked the young man at the festival. Humph, muttered the stepmother, seeing her beauty. But no one knew who the mysterious girl was. Even when Joanna played catch in the ball toss game, no one recognized her. The shadows lengthened. The games were about to end when, at the edge of the clearing, a tall, handsome young man appeared. There is Shinong, everyone exclaimed, honored to be joined by the son of the village elder. He was a fine young man of learning and wealth. Shinong began to play his bamboo instrument. The kang made sweet, stirring sounds. The young man danced gracefully as he played. Joanna watched, delighted by the music maker. Then their eyes met, and the melody encircled her like a tender embrace. The stepmother wanted the handsome young man to play for her daughter, but Shinong serenaded only the beautiful girl. At this, the stepmother grabbed Ding by the arm, and they made off hurriedly toward home. Joanna knew that she must arrive home first to have the meal ready. In her haste, she stepped in a muddy puddle, kicked a rock, and off came one of her shoes. Joanna dared not stop, dared not look back. She must rush home. The handsome Shinong set off after her down the path. Aha! He exclaimed when he came upon the dainty shoe. He picked it up and wiped it clean. Then he vowed to himself that nothing would stop him from finding the mysterious, lovely girl whose tiny foot it fit. From village to village, Shinong searched. He searched the farms. He searched the fields. He went from house to house. Everyone heard of his search for the maiden whose shoe he had found. Eventually, he came to Joanna's house. This way, kind sir, beckoned the stepmother, who had seen Shinong coming. I recognize that shoe. Then, in a loud whisper, the stepmother called, Daughter, come! But to her dismay, both girls appeared at once. No, no, not you. The stepmother tried to wave away the lovely Joanna. Please stay, insisted the young man. Don't bother with her, protested the stepmother. Then she pushed her own daughter to the stool directly in front of Shinong. But try as she may, Ding could not put the dainty shoe on her bulging foot. Shinong then turned to Joanna. Please, sit here, he said. In a glance, they both could see that the shoe would fit perfectly on her tiny foot. But fearing the stepmother's anger, Joanna backed away. The stepmother, her mind still swirling with schemes to trap Shinong for her own daughter, spoke up. You will not do our house honor if you would stay for dinner. Tired from his long search, Shinong agreed. The stepmother quickly devised yet another deceitful plan. One dish she would make of tasty rice with meat, and the other of dried bones and rice hulls. Before serving, the stepmother blew out the oil lamps to make the room nearly dark. Then she set the best food before Shinong and Ding, while giving the dried bones to Joanna. She hoped Joanna would be left so weak from hunger that she could not distract the guest from her daughter. But the young man saw what the stepmother had done and how sweetly Joanna had endured the trick. Shinong turned to Joanna, quietly saying, We could see better with more light. Where are other oil lamps? Joanna led Shinong from the table. At the doorway, their eyes met again. No need for words. Their hearts touched. The village, they knew, would bless their love. Joanna swept her mother's sewing basket up into her arms. Then, together, the two young people left for the home of Shinong's parents. The stepmother and Ding stood in the doorway. Speechless, They watched the couple disappear into the purple shadows of the warm, fragrant night. After their wedding, Joanna and Shinong set out for their new life. They made their way past the place where the gentle cow was buried, past the giant dead tree, through the green rice paddy, and across the jungle clearing. At last, they crossed over the wide river to the fertile fields beyond. There, it is said, they lived long, happy lives, turning the sadness Jouanah had known into endless joy. As far as anyone knows, the stepmother and the lazy ding are still standing at the door of the house, plotting and scheming, making endless misery for only themselves. The magic piece of soft cowhide is still safely hidden deep in the old sewing basket. Its spirit awaits the fair child of Joanna and her loving husband, and it will be there even for the child of that child, and the child of that child, and on and on and on, as long as this story is told. The end.